are back.
We haven't given up yet.
We have fans. We're famous
we have
now.
54 listeners out there.
Wow. It's big news.
Yes, big news. I was quite frankly surprised.
I mean, if you put 54 people in a room, that's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people. I was hoping, what number were you hoping for?
Honestly, I had no concept of how many people would listen. So
mine was 7. I was like, I have 7 friends, right?
One for every day of the week.
Yeah. So thanks, guys, for listening in. All 54 of you.
Yes, thank you so much. We have much to discuss today.
Yes. Before we dive into the episode, we are just going to touch on some brief Bachelor news.
Well, first we're going to say, I'm Beth.
Oh, yes, and I am Kara. Well, there is some news. Beth is now our official co-host.
Woo, yeah.
This is on me. I think I was just too scared to just ask you from the beginning.
Can you be my longtime guest forever?
You can make a long-term commitment to this. I mean, I felt like it was,
I was committed.
I feel like I should have had some sort of proposal.
No, it's okay. You should have asked, will you accept to be my podcast co-host?
I should have given you a rose.
Honestly, that would have cringed me out, so I'm glad that you didn't do that.
It's
also,
just a
I'm going to
text.
try to say cringe less this week, because I said it a lot last week.
I'm probably going to say it a lot.
Okay.
Because there was a lot of cringe, I feel this episode.
There was so much, and I cannot wait to discuss it.
But yes, we are now a duo, so Beth is going to be around for the long run. But in Bachelor news, just a couple of things we want to talk about before we get into the episode. This past week, we had our very first ever Bachelor Nation divorce, as in a lead got a divorce. We've never had a lead get a divorce in Bachelor Nation. We had Glitter and Goose get a divorce.
RIP.
But they were married, I believe, for 7 years.
And this was JP and Ashley. Season what?
I have no idea.
What year was it? I'm thinking it was either 2007 or 2011.
I want to say it was 2011.
Okay. Let's go with that.
Yeah. Because I think she was before Emily Maynard.
Okay.
But yeah, very unfortunate, and not going to speculate too much about it, but just something to report. What else happened this week? Matt James's women were released this week. Their cast list was a bunch of beauties.
I haven't looked, but I'm sure they are all gorgeous.
I'm sure we'll cover them as the season approaches. They have begun filming.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, and they're also doing a resort on the East Coast, I believe in Pennsylvania. That's also very expansive, like the La Quinta Resort and Spa.
When did they start filming?
I think last week.
Okay, so it's going to be chilly, wintry.
We're going to get some cozy vibes.
Yeah.
Snuggly vibes.
Sweater weather. Okay.
Sweater weather.
I'm into it. How many sweaters and fancy hats? You know what I'm talking about? Felt hats are we going to see in the season? That is the question.
I want to know. I wonder if there's going to be some... Have you seen that show, Emily in Paris? Or heard of it?
Yes, I watched the whole thing in 2 days.
Same. 2 days.
It was so easy. The episodes are only 30 minutes.
I wonder if they got to watch that before they went on the show, and there's going to be any Emily in Paris fashion inspo.
I would love that, because I feel like... This is a bold statement, but I feel like Emily in Paris could be the next Gossip Girl? Question mark?
We'll see how that develops. It's a nice, comfortable, easy to watch show.
Right.
Not as dramatic, I think, as Gossip Girl. Not as angsty.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But there is drama, and
give it time.
I loved it.
I don't want to give spoilers, but there was definitely some.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be getting an Emmy for anything.
No.
But I like it.
It's worth a watch.
It's comforting. Oh yeah, worth the watch. Would recommend if you want something easy to watch while you're playing Diner Dash.
While you're waiting for The Bachelor.
Yeah, for real. That's literally what it was. It was filler before The Bachelor came on or Bachelorette came on. So that's what's been going on in Bachelor news. We're not too much to talk about. We'll talk more about Matt James's cast as his season approaches, when we have kind of a gap between the two seasons. But let's dive into the episode.
Yeah, let's get going because
there's so much to talk about.
There's so much to talk about.
My emotions were a roller coaster watching this.
I feel like a different person at the end of the episode than I was at the beginning. It started off it started off on such a different note than it ended.
Yes. And I feel like I felt like a roller coaster of just going between aw and ooh.
Yeah. It was either I feel inspired and empowered or I cannot watch this.
I need to leave.
Yes.
I know. And I feel like I have a pretty high tolerance for those moments when I'm watching because part of me loves it. But there were some moments this episode that I was like, I need to hide.
I know. And I was thinking that too. I feel like when you watch The Bachelor for several seasons, you get used to the normal awkward moments and you can deal with it. Because I remember the first time I ever watched The Bachelor at all, I looked away half of the episode. Yeah. And I've gotten way more tolerant. But you're right. Tonight there was some stuff that I just actually physically felt like I could not watch the TV. So
let's get into it then.
Yeah, let's talk.
So I just want to note that when we come in, Claire is having a luxurious pool moment. Like, I wonder if she has her own pool.
Yeah.
And I'm happy
sure
that she does.
I'm sure she does. I mean, we talked about it last week. The La Quinta is expansive.
I got Legally Blonde vibes.
Totally. Do you think that was the inspiration?
I hope so, because she's a great inspiration. Yeah. Legally Blonde is timeless.
We can all be inspired by that movie.
Yes. That is one of my desert island movies. I don't care what anyone says.
No one should say anything about that. That's a great movie.
It's a great choice. It should also be on their desert island list. We get a lot of dialogue from the men. Blake Moynes from Canada, he says that he's seeing like lizards and that lizards aren't in Canada?
Yeah.
None?
I mean, okay, I'm from down here in Georgia. People consider where I'm from the north. I'm from Virginia and Washington State. And there's not many lizards running around. So
I mean, I understand like the desert lizards, like the meaty ones.
Yeah.
But none?
I don't know.
He was like, we don't have lizards in Canada. I was shook.
I was just wondering, what did they do to get that sound bite? That's what
Tell us about the wildlife, because he's a wildlife manager. That's why he cares. Okay, connecting dots.
He would know of anyone.
Yes.
And I also would never have guessed that was his profession.
You need to check out his social media because he has some interesting wildlife content.
I certainly will.
And he's easy to find.
Okay.
Other thing I wanted to say before we go into the first date is Jordan C., who I talked about before, who has I think, really bad hair. He was wearing a bandana in the opening scene.
Oh, and I'm not trying to be rude, but the glasses that
those are bad glasses.
He needs to get some different frames.
Those are like 2002, circa 2002.
Jordan, go online to iBuyDirect.com. And pick yourself out a nice pair of frames from there.
Or even like Warby Parker. We have so many options now.
Yeah, it reminds me of the glasses that your teacher would have worn in 2007. Yeah.
Or like the first pair of glasses you get when you're 10.
You're like, I don't want glasses, so I'm going to get the smallest, least
discreet. But then you look like Benjamin Franklin.
Jordan, the glasses plus a bandana.
Bandana was also thick. Like it was like covering his entire forehead. And I mean, I'm going to admit, I had a bandana phase, but I was 15.
Yeah.
So sorry, that had to go.
Jordan. Okay. Well, wait. Before we talk about the date, we have to talk about the opening part with Bennett.
Okay, I missed it because you said something. What happened?
I live for Bennett.
What did he do? I missed it.
Okay, so we were seeing people, it was like an opening montage, so I don't know, because you know how at the beginning they showed like the men dramatically running around and all that stuff? Okay, well then in the midst of that, they showed Bennett in a La Quinta robe and holding a martini in his hand. and giving a tour of his room. Okay, I know this happens more at the end. No,
okay.
but they showed
also the beginning.
They showed a clip of it in the beginning, and it was him and someone else. I don't remember who it was. Just staring at his shoe collection, which
you see that at the end.
Yeah,
too.
I know. You see
thoughts.
it at the end, but yeah, we'll talk. But like, Bennett in a martini and robe with a curl on his forehead is the funniest, most amazing.
I have to ask for forgiveness because I was so wrong.
He's so awesome.
He is what we needed this season.
If I was Claire, done deal. It would be like with Dale, but it would be Bennett. I
feel like he has like positive masculinity vibes.
Totally.
He's very in touch with like self-care, and like he doesn't think that's too feminine. Like
no, he's awesome. But I also was thinking he looks like the guy in a superhero movie that you think is good, but he ends up being the villain.
Oh, really?
That's also what he looks like.
Which is what the Green Goblin was. You thought he was good, and then he was bad.
Okay, you're right.
But wait, I also did put this episode with his glasses. I did say I got Clark Kent vibes.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we can talk about more of him later because we actually do see a fair amount of him in the episode. But that opening clip, every time he comes on the screen, I just laugh because I'm so excited.
I heard you say, like, did you see Bennett? And I literally was taking notes, so I missed it.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
we'll talk more about the ending scene later.
Yeah, love him.
But we have our first date, and the date card read, "I'm looking for the guy who speaks to my heart." And on this date, we had Ben, Riley, Jordan, Yosef, Ivan, Bennett, both of the Zachs, Zach C and Zach J, and Dale. And on the way to this date, they follow the hearts. I got Wizard of Oz vibes here.
It made me think of the things they put down on the grocery lines now to make you stand 6 feet apart. That's whatever. And I was also just thinking, who was the unfortunate person that had to put 50 drawn
for
hearts?
3 seconds of footage?
Yeah. Do you think that was Claire's idea? And she was like,
I know. I think that was Chris Harrison's idea.
Okay, yeah.
And they tried it once, and they thought, that Chris, this was a lot of effort for very little effect.
Agreed.
And I'm sure that's why he left for a week. So the school, he was so hurt by his heart idea.
Oh, man. That
being
was
crushed.
Classic.
That's something we have to look forward to. JoJo's going to host while he's gone for the week that he's gone.
Oh, I'm excited for that. I forgot about that. Okay, that's something good to look forward to. Keep that in your back pocket, folks.
So this date is a love languages date. What was your thought on just this date idea?
The concept?
Just the concept.
Okay, well, as far as Bachelor Nation dates go, I thought it was a good concept because I actually do think love languages are important to know.
Yeah. When
you're in a relationship. They've been helpful to me in my relationship. So it's not necessarily a bad idea.
I understood why they picked it because it doesn't require anyone from the outside to come in.
Also true.
They can definitely put that together on their own, like coordinate that on their own. I have a love-hate relationship with love languages because they're cliche, but they're also functional.
There's a reason they're popular, Kara.
Because they work.
Did it also, though, kind of give you the feeling of you're at a summer camp and they're trying to think of stuff to do with you all day, so they make up these weird themes?
The camp counselors just make up the weirdest stuff.
Yes, that's kind of what it reminded me of.
I'm glad you bring that up because there's something later that I wrote down that gave me camp vibes.
This whole thing, really.
It is camp.
It's summer camp.
And the producers are the camp counselors, and they're just trying to come up with what the heck they're going to do.
And Claire is the pretty girl, and then all the other guys are just
trying to win her affection.
Well, okay, so we should... Never mind. That part, the metaphor didn't go as far as I wanted it to. But also, the room that they were in, it was so dark.
Weird, so dark. They were trying to hide something. They had minimal set. They had like the castle wall and the greenery.
It was like the size of my bedroom. It was very small.
Yeah,
and it was
too intimate.
It looked like it had like lawn.
The grass on the wall. See, this is something that probably would have
did
done
that?
better with an audience. Like, you remember when Hannah Brown season they did like the pageant with the guys?
Yes. Oh, yes.
This would have probably done better with an audience, but they obviously couldn't do that.
It was okay, and then they had the tower that she stood in.
I didn't like that.
So they all, I guess we should describe what the date was.
Yeah.
So you say it.
Okay. So
You say it, Kara.
they have the tower, they have the greenery, and Chris Harrison, it's almost like challenges. He's,
right.
you know,
He's like, okay, first challenge is.
words of affirmation.
Right.
And they have to tell Claire how they feel about her. I mean, it's been, what, 48 hours?
I don't know.
And they have to just have these speeches?
It
I mean,
was-
gosh.
That is my actual worst nightmare. And I was thinking this when I was watching it because, like I said, the concept in and of itself was okay. But then thinking about having to go stand below this weird fake cardboard balcony
Yeah.
and like say really nice stuff about Claire, and then literally all the other guys are just staring and watching.
Yeah.
That is
Also,
a nightmare.
That angle was a nightmare. I was like,
Where
I don't
they
want to
shot
be.
it from.
I mean, they're looking up at her. That is a. I mean, she looked
wait.
great.
I actually said that in my head. I said it to myself that her outfit was giving me a very almost like Jane from.
I literally was gonna say that. I was like, don't cut her off, Kara. And I was like, let her finish. But I couldn't because you
did.
literally said the same thing. Jane from Tarzan.
Yes,
and I was living for it.
She looks so good.
She looks so good.
I don't know if
But
it's
that angle wouldn't have worked for me. The
Yeah.
looking up.
No
I mean,
thanks.
double chin.
maybe put me on the ground and have them look down.
Yeah.
That's
I want
much more
an aerial. I cannot believe you also thought it was Jane from Tarzan.
It was a great outfit. I really liked her shorts.
I mean, I love Jane.
Me too.
I mean, let's go for that.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's been 48 hours, and I'll say this about the 48-hour mark. Most leads know who their top are within that time period.
Sure.
That's fair. But I mean, you literally had Riley with this dramatic monologue that was like Juilliard level audition.
Yeah, it was like a sonnet.
Yeah, a sonnet. I put poem. I was like, what kind of poem is this?
Is it a haiku?
Yes.
Is it what other kind of poems are there? I don't know.
I don't know. Sonnet was what I thought of. But that was just, I mean, I respect him, but that was a little much for me.
That was if I had been Claire, I would be extremely not about it.
Well, it's just kind of like,
I
where's
wouldn't
this
have been
coming
about any of
from?
it.
Yeah. I did like that Ivan talked about onions and layers.
Very
a cliche classic.
Classic Shrek reference.
Yes. I like a Shrek reference. Every time I see a boulder.
Yeah.
That's a nice boulder. And then we had some good efforts from the other men, but I noted Ivan and Riley. Riley with the audition. I was just killing me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even remember any of them. I was just thinking about that room,
Yeah.
thinking about the tower, thinking about who made it, or was it already there at La Quinta? And if it was, what were they using
Yes.
it for? Like, I just,
Oh my gosh. And then we have Dale come up.
oh
And
my
we
gosh.
learned, this is something I learned about Dale this evening, because I don't think we saw it the first night. Dale likes a thin chain.
Oh,
And he
okay.
was, I'm not someone who really likes necklaces on men, but he was working it.
Well, I mean, what could Dale wear that wouldn't work? Because
Good
I guess
question.
bandana and some glasses.
The big
but-
bandana and the tiny glasses.
But other than that, I think he can get away with pretty much anything.
The chain was working.
Yeah.
It was just dainty enough where like you almost didn't see it unless the light hit it a certain way. And then, you know, he was just glowing.
Good choice, Dale.
And then his speech was good. Obviously, they focused on him.
Oh, it was very intense though.
He talked about energy and spirit.
He said he's ready to give her everything,
Yes.
physically and emotionally,
And he doesn't care who's watching.
And that's just
Well, I thought, how timely is that? Because we're literally about to watch everyone touch Claire.
right.
And
He could not have predicted
really-
it, but he was on point.
he really had to live up to those words quite immediately.
Ugh.
And then, so Claire gets emotional about all the sweet things.
I timed it. It was 9 minutes
good
into the
timing.
episode was the
Oh
first,
my gosh.
the first cry, shall we call it.
I know that, shout out to the podcast Game of Roses. They count the cries, the amount of cries that happen every season.
I heard it's going to be astronomical.
Count. Yeah, they'll have a cry count at the end of the season.
We'll have to report on that.
Yeah. Well, in the middle of the state, they do a weird cut to the men who aren't on the date at the pool, and they're having a belly flop competition.
So, what's the strategy of why they included this?
I think because at the pool, they see the men from the date running in to get their gifts for the gift-giving love language.
I think I missed the setup of the gift-giving love language.
They literally sent they didn't give us oh, guys, you have to go run to your room. We literally just saw them running to their rooms.
Yeah, so that was weird to me.
Well, whenever I saw the running in the promos, I was like, this is a part of a date. This is not like a storyline. You're smart.
I got sucked in by it, and I was like, oh my gosh, they're going to Dale's room, and they're going to find Claire and him, and they had sex. That's what I thought it was. They totally got me. That would have been
saucier. But no, they sent them off to the rooms to get gifts. We had to connect the dots on our own on that.
Which also, did they know about this gift thing?
There's no way.
Okay, so tell me why someone has a baseball from 2012 with them if they didn't know about it.
He loves that baseball so much.
Kara, if you were going on The Bachelor, would you be like, let me find one keepsake and just make sure that I bring it with me?
I guess because they know they're not going to have their phones. They know they're going to have to quarantine on top of that.
So he just brings
He cares that much
baseball?
About it. I mean,
and then he gives it away 48 hours?
That's the thing. There's no way Claire kept those gifts.
Yeah, he definitely should ask for it back if he has to leave. Who was it?
That was Riley.
Okay, Riley. Riley's intense.
Riley is intense. I can respect it, but it scares me. Because
But Claire eats it up.
She loves it, and I'm glad she loves it. I mean, I can see, I've met men like Riley that I'm like, wow, you're great.
Not for me.
I need to bring it down a few notches. I can think of specific names of men that I've met.
Okay, tell them right now.
What was his name? Wow. Okay, wait. I have his
name. Wait, you're actually going to...
Never mind.
I was like, I was joking. What if?
I'm not going to say last name, but I know this man named David who...
Okay.
Wait, not the David that's friends with my husband, though. He's from way back in my past, and he was just a really intense guy, but he just had the biggest heart. And I really just respected that. Didn't understand him one lick.
Well, maybe he should go on The Bachelorette and meet Claire.
He has the very similar vibe to Riley. Like, wants to treat a woman like a queen, but he just needs to find the right woman. Anyways,
well,
wow,
David,
what a detour.
Good luck to you, David.
Good luck, David. Maybe he's one of our 54 listeners.
What if?
Probably not. Okay, so yeah, Riley does the baseball that has written on it, "Don't complain, just figure it out." I like that.
That's literally, what that makes me think of is when my mom, I would get home from school or something and be like, "Mom, I'm so hungry. What do I eat?"
Just
yeah.
I liked that. I wish I could hand that to people in my life who are complaining to me. I just hand them that baseball.
At work, be like, here you go.
Just pass them the baseball. Yeah, there's no way she kept that.
No. Sorry.
Ivan carries on with the chess piece vibe.
Sweet, sweet Ivan. And he says, "You're the queen, and it's the most powerful piece."
I loved that. That was a great gift. And she can keep that.
That gets me in the heart. And I'm not kidding. Makes my heart feel for sweet Ivan.
Ivan is doing, and partially is a strategic move because he's creating a clear brand for himself.
That's very true.
And she can always think, Ivan, chess, Ivan, chess, right. Ivan.
And I'm the queen.
I'm the queen. I am Ivan's queen. So, I do think it's really sweet, but I also think it's partially strategic because he is creating a brand for himself. Ben gave the favorite t-shirt. I thought was easily the best gift.
Yeah, because it's not creepy. And it's something that I would actually want to wear because who doesn't love to wear an oversized t-shirt that smells like a handsome man?
Yeah. And she can actually keep that.
Right. And I would, great gift.
Unless he wants to give it to Tayshia later.
Yeah.
Then we have to...
Stay tuned. He's going to have to get another one. He's going to have another favorite t-shirt.
And then Dale. Did you catch this? What he gave?
I actually am totally blanking.
He gave her... These are his words, not mine. Puppy perfume.
Oh,
perfume for her dogs.
I'm going to tell you right now that's fake. There's no way. Also, how would he have that there?
Also, does that mean the perfume's not vegan because like you're putting it on an animal? Is that considered animal testing?
Oh.
I don't know.
Watch out, Dale.
How do we know the dog wants the perfume?
The dog has to consent to the perfume.
I mean, what a niche product.
This is why I asked if they had the gifts already beforehand. Because why else would he have
no way.
this?
I really do think.
Unless we talk about some rumors that have been going around that Dale and Claire knew each other.
I keep seeing stuff that now that are going against it.
But how would he, if he just had puppy perfume in his suitcase?
Yeah.
Okay, what's more concerning? That he knew Claire before and he prepared and he brought this? Or that he just had that on hand?
Yeah, does he use... Good point, because his dogs aren't there.
No!
I think that people are saying that they didn't talk. Now they're saying they didn't talk, that she just had a feeling about him because she was able to social media creep on everyone because of the time.
Well, okay, then that doesn't answer my question about the perfume.
Yeah, that's a very good point. His dogs are not there for it to be used.
No, to me it just looks like some face serum.
It literally did.
Yeah.
Why can't it just be that? I don't know. It was really weird. I mean, but she loved it.
I'm thinking about her, like, it's just so funny because she's so obsessed with Dale and he's like, the stuff he does is like kind of cringe.
This one was. I mean, I like him, but this was just a weird moment.
But she was like, I love it.
She just loves everything that comes from his vicinity.
Yeah. Man, that's hilarious. How did I not remember that?
Puppy perfume. It's a thing.
Puppy. I'm gonna look it up.
Christmas is coming up, everyone.
Yeah.
Then they just label that the nighttime of the date is the quality time portion. Totally missing out on acts of service, which I know that
Wait, what about the physical touch portion?
Oh, wait.
That's the most important portion.
I'm so sorry. I scrolled down too far. Physical touch. Now, did they both wear blindfolds or was it just Claire?
No, they both did.
Okay. Here's my thing. Claire is already a really sexy person.
Totally.
Like I think she just exudes it because she has the curves. Mm-hmm. I don't know, but.
And she's got the confidence. She's ready to flirt and mingle.
This was just, whew. There was a lot of smell talk.
Yes.
And a lot of breathing sounds.
There was a lot of breathing. And there was the guitar music in the back, the classic like the Spanish
Latin
that they use for that kind of scene, classic Bachelor move. I
wish, because she was like, I can already tell who's who. I wish they had made her report who she thought each one was.
Yeah, because then didn't she say after one of them, like, oh, wait, now I'm second guessing myself?
Yes, because Bennett lifted her in the hug, so she probably thought, this is Dale.
Yeah, because Dale lifted her
at the beginning. Lifter.
He lifted her at the beginning of the group date.
Yes, so...
And then after she was like, oh, I feel like she realized that it wasn't him.
Yeah.
And then she said... Never mind.
Yeah. Oof. What I want to say, there probably was a lot of breathing because from what I observed is that they resisted from kissing. I don't think she kissed anyone during this physical touch moment.
Well, there was someone who kissed her on the hand.
Riley did.
Okay. Of course it was Riley.
With his chivalry.
Is Riley like a literature major or something?
No, he's a lawyer. He may have just been, I think he's inspired by Shakespeare. And we had the castle. We had the Romeo and Juliet set.
Yeah. if someone did that to me, I would hate it. Unless you are an actual prince of an actual country and you're very attractive, you cannot kiss me on the hand.
Yeah.
Those are the conditions.
It's kind of a weird moment. I didn't like it. I much rather have like their arms around me than.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't think Claire liked it.
He didn't
either.
take advantage of. I mean, she was open to being touched, obviously.
Oh, but they were all just staring while it happened. They were all just watching.
Dale didn't care.
And then and then I just kept thinking, poor Chris Harrison. What a nightmare.
I don't know. I feel like do you think he might like this guy?
Oh no, what if he's just creepy?
He loves to see love develop. Love was developing, or lust was
developing.
Anyways, there was a lot of breathing going on, and that was a little uncomfortable for me. Sometimes I'm like, ooh, this is getting me hot and bothered too. But in this scenario with like the watching and the blindfolds.
No, that was very weird.
I only want to see that if it's like they're clearly alone.
I don't even want to see that if they're alone.
I'm just saying that's the only somewhat acceptable time.
Right.
I mean, when the rest of the guys watching.
And Dale just straight up breathes on her neck.
And she reacted. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's move on.
Yeah, let's not talk.
So they move on to the nighttime portion, which I feel like they kind of cheated and said, this is the quality time portion.
Yeah, and like you said, they skipped acts of service.
Yeah. I want to know if a guy can fix a leaky faucet or like get groceries when I'm tired.
That's important. Do the dishes. That's all you need to succeed. Get a man who does the dishes.
Is he willing to go grab socks for my feet while I'm laying on the couch because I'm too lazy to get up?
These are the things we need
to know.
We need to know.
Can we order Uber Eats if I'm too tired to cook?
Can he go get the food?
Yeah.
And bring it back so you don't have to pay the delivery fee.
Real life scenarios. Delivery fees.
Imagine like Bennett just like goes to get Chick-fil-A and brings it back to her.
He would definitely bring her back food and a sheet mask.
He would bring her back a steak.
Filet mignon.
And mashed potatoes or something.
Yes. On this quality time portion, which is just the nighttime portion of the group date.
Which they call the after party. Which I thought was so funny.
So this was a party?
They're
so
like...
the first part was a party.
The first part was so weird. They're like, the castle and then the physical touch. It's just like, okay, now there's an after party to that. It was just.
I mean, I think they had some time to decompress between that and the nighttime portion. So I think that was just needed.
Okay, I guess it was an after party, but that was just funny.
Yeah, I thought it was funny they called it that. But we do get. I want to note we have one shoulder dress appearance number 3.
Glad you're keeping count. I forgot about that.
Yeah. So
it was the blue dress.
The blue dress.
Okay, I liked it.
Yeah, she looked great. Just wanted to take a note of that. They had so it started off very awkward.
Sure.
A very long, awkward, like minutes. I would say minutes awkward. They do the cheers. Like Claire does a toast, she does the cheers. And while they're cheersing, it's silent. And she's going, cheers, cheers.
She's the kind of person where she's really trying to facilitate, get things going.
Yeah.
Kind of, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and she didn't like that they didn't, like she was trying to pass the baton.
Okay. We have to talk about this.
What
happened?
Oh, just the silence.
And then what happens afterwards?
It was just bad. That's what I'm saying. This was minutes of awkwardness. Like, not just this moment of silence, but like, it continued.
But then Claire's reaction.
Okay, so, yeah, because they have the cheers, and she says, does anybody wanna, like, you wanna grab me? And it's silence, and I don't know what the vibe was, if, like, the guys just didn't want to ruffle feathers because you don't want to be the villain, or if, like, I don't know what was happening.
I have a lot of thoughts about the way she reacted, which we'll get to very shortly, but how
do you feel about it?
My impression was that everyone was just kind of looking around waiting for someone else, because they were all hanging out, they were vibing, the guys were. And it's not like, oh, we just wanted to keep hanging out with each other. They're just like, oh, you're just having a good time. Like, I don't want to be the one to be like, okay, bye, see ya, screw all you guys.
And what I'll say is, I feel like every season there is a balance of the lead asking for people, which
Right.
Claire does later in the episode.
Right.
And the contestants asking for the lead. So I feel like, I mean, I understand it was awkward. And I could see how she could get in her head about that. But it was...
I'm going to say
spiraled. What did
this
say it?
was an overreaction of magnificent proportions.
I definitely felt like it's that moment where a thought gets in your head and you just spiral upon it.
But okay, it's clearer to me than ever before that Claire is an Enneagram 4. For sure.
I agree.
Because once she feels something, she cannot move past it until everyone knows how she feels.
It. Yeah.
And I mean, to a certain extent, I get that, but like, I just cannot believe. Okay, first of all, Bennett eventually, sweet Bennett.
Yeah.
My fave. Of course, he says, "Oh, sure, yeah, I'd love to hang out with you." And then when he starts to try and make conversation, she's like, I can't think about this right now. I have to go talk to them. And then I felt bad for Bennett because, well, he was the one that actually did what you wanted, and
yeah,
then you just ignored him the rest of the night, it seemed like.
I know. And I feel like maybe it just got edited out, but I hope that she went back to that conversation immediately after she confronted them. And then they had a good convo.
Yeah, I hope so too, because I just felt like, okay, you're going to make such a big deal about this, but then you're not even going to acknowledge the person who actually did like do what you wanted them to do.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was so, I could not even believe what I was watching.
I just think what I'll say in Claire's defense is sometimes I think maybe if your self-esteem gets a little bit of a hit, sometimes instead of being like sad or hurt, you get angry and just say, get on the defense. And I think that she was probably feeling hurt, but she was like, no, I'm going to be strong.
Yeah, I'm going to be a strong,
confrontational,
assertive, confident woman.
I've totally done that.
I get it, but
it was a little bit, it came on a little strong.
It came on extremely strong. And I think for people who maybe already feel like Claire's a bit of an emotional gal, which, hey, that's fine. I get it. This was not a good... I mean, if I was in that scenario as one of the guys, I would just be like, I don't even know what to...
Yeah, she
how
definitely
to deal with
put
this.
them on the spot as far as, like, damage control.
And they didn't do anything.
Well, Yosef definitely didn't help with his, you're crazy to think that we didn't come here for you. Which...
That was... I mean, there's so much cringe stuff about Yosef, which I think I was coming to.
Well, the thing is, he didn't even realize how bad that was to say.
No, and the fact that he did say, and there was Riley brought this up, but the fact that he said, "Oh, I think I can speak for everyone."
I'll speak for the group.
Like,
stop doing that. No one asked you to do that.
I don't think that they were gonna say that she was crazy.
Yeah.
That was not the right thing to say. But it was also funny how at some point they were all just standing up.
Yeah.
Like
they were almost like battle mode.
Yeah, it was weird. It reminded me of the Spider-Man meme where they're all pointing at each other.
Yes.
And I just kept thinking, why is this turning into drama? Because Claire comes in there, she's mad, and then they all feed off of that, and then drama starts between them.
Well, they all should have just done what Dale did and just been like, you're right, we hurt your feelings, and it doesn't matter if, what the intent was, we hurt your feelings and we are wrong.
Yeah, but I do feel frustrated watching Claire and being like, okay, I get being, you're nervous, and even though the show's about you, these are attractive guys, and you are wanting to look for love, and you want that reassurance that people are there for you. But at the same time, like, you can't let that drive you to just being completely confrontational for basically, I don't want to say no reason, because there's always a reason for our
It could have
feelings.
been a calm conversation.
Yeah, or just a moment of vulnerability of saying,
Maybe I'm being sensitive.
Yeah, but this is how this made me feel, and I just want to let you guys know that this might be hard for you, and it's hard for me too. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
It does make me question her negotiation skills. Like,
yes,
the ability to maybe go into an argument and maybe realize, oh, I'm wrong.
Right.
And then being like, oh, sorry.
Right. It's all very emotional response. Like, whatever is on her mind is going to bubble to the surface.
Yeah.
And I almost feel like there's no filter of, okay, this is how I'm feeling. Now let me process this through
a conversation rather than a soapbox.
Exactly.
Okay. Yes. So, well, Dale does save the day here. So we'll move on to Dale because he says the exact perfect thing, calms her down. And then they have a Dale Clare moment. We have a handful of Dale Clare.
Oh, sure.
Dale and Clare. I feel like that's like a couple's name. A Clayle.
Clayle.
A Clayle moment.
Clayle.
And Clare, this is the most vulnerability I've seen from a lead this early with a contestant. Because typically the lead can't say very much about how they're feeling.
Right.
They definitely can't say I love you, even though Ben Higgins did that on his season.
Oh, yeah. Everyone does it.
But she says, I have strong feelings for you.
Yeah, and how many days in are we?
48 hours.
This is what I was thinking when I was watching this. Claire acts like Dale is the lead. And she is the one in the vulnerable position.
Well, I think she just has strong feelings for him and is hoping that it's reciprocated, which definitely is like the roles are kind of switched. But he seems to have feelings for her too.
Yeah, it's very intense.
Yeah, you can see the role kind of reverse when they're together.
Right, exactly. It's not...
But it doesn't need to. I don't think it does. But you can see that she acts differently.
Yeah.
Her voice gets a little bit higher. She whispers a lot more with it. She likes to whisper when she really likes someone.
Yes, that's true.
Because it means they have to get closer to hear her, to actually hear her.
And then they have a lot of tongue kissing.
They Frenched.
They Frenched. Wait, what is... They Frenched. What is that? Oh, it's that YouTube video.
I don't know what that is.
Wait, you don't know this?
I've just heard that. I feel like I've seen.
There's this YouTube video of this girl reading like her fan fiction.
Oh yes. They French. That's where I heard it from. I'm pretty sure. Yes.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny.
But yeah, I just wrote down that Claire loves a sensual whisper moment.
Totally.
I mean, I get it because you have to get closer to hear them.
It's not for me either.
But I can see how it's effective.
I guess it works with Dale.
It definitely works with Dale.
He just wants to make out with her as much as possible.
Well, after this makeout sesh, we cut to the guys who aren't on the date, and they get the one-on-one date card. And it's Jason.
Oh, wait. We cut to this, and then we go back to the date?
Yeah.
Okay.
It cuts to the date card. Yeah, lots of cut scenes.
Jason... Which
I want to live outside. No, there's only one.
Oh, I thought there was two.
No, there was... We got rid of a lot of the duplicates from night one.
Okay.
Jason's the one, I just want to live outside. She's as pretty as my mom, Jason.
Okay. Oh, man. Okay, it's all falling into place now.
And his card says, love will set you free. And then we cut back. So that was a really short cut. I don't know. I don't know why.
Yeah, what's the purpose here? What are we thinking here?
I don't know. I guess just to know more is coming, guys. Don't worry. We cut back to Zach C. I liked this moment. Do you remember this?
Me too. I do. I liked... Okay, this is what I think is the good side of... excuse me. The good side of Claire's emotionality is that she is able to articulate her journey so well.
And concisely.
Yes, and she clearly knows where she's coming from and what's led her up to this moment, and I think it does help the men to get a sense of who she is. So
I liked his question. He said, how'd you get here? I think that's a great question. It's better than like, what do you do?
It's a very it's inviting self-reflection.
Yeah, it's better than like, tell me about yourself.
Right.
I liked that. He's obviously a good listener.
Oh,
sorry, go ahead.
It was very intense, I will say that.
Because she's intense.
Well, right, exactly.
But he's calm. I think he has a calming presence.
And he responded well.
I have a little crush on Zaxi.
Okay. Zaxi?
I mean, a healthy one.
A healthy crush.
Yeah.
I like Zaxi.
Next is Riley. I wrote down, Riley clearly knows how to treat a woman and definitely learned about how to treat women from Boys to Men.
Everything he knows he learned from Boys to Men.
I mean, smooth operator.
What did you think about them dancing like the prom?
I liked that. And we didn't know this at this time, but Claire had never been to prom. But we didn't know in this moment. That comes up later.
I would hate this if it were me. This would be my nightmare. There's no music.
I love a dance moment.
There's no music. And I barely know you.
And
we're just standing there.
But if you say we're dancing to Boys to Men, it's in my head.
I don't think so. I don't like it. But hey, I'm not.
Riley's an intense guy. Claire's an intense girl.
Right. Well, that's the thing. Claire and I do not have the same taste. I'll say that right now.
I don't think I would like this this early on, but I thought it was a cute idea.
Sure. I mean, he tried.
The thought behind it. He tried.
He definitely
effort was there.
He definitely has a plan going into everything.
Well, obviously it worked because he gets the date rose.
Which, weren't you relieved that she gave it to Riley? Like, I was like, Claire, please play it cool and give it to someone that's not Dale.
Yeah, I mean, I think he deserved it because he put a lot of effort into their conversation. But what I did put down was that Claire needs a Skillshare class on pinning a rose because this rose was straight up 180 degrees.
It was
like flat line across.
Wonky.
It was wonky. It may have just been the shirt was, with the t-shirts.
It wasn't stable.
Yeah. Maybe he needed to wear more of a substantial material.
Yeah, maybe he needed like a piece of cardboard behind it.
That rose was so wonky.
It was sad. Hopefully it's not a metaphor.
But yeah, I'm glad Riley got the rose and not Dale. Even though we like you, Dale. You'll get the rose later.
Yeah, you are going to get plenty of roses, I'm sure.
And then we start to see the more of the downfall of Yosef. He's obviously disappointed. He's mad. He's like mad he didn't get the rose, but like he also is mad at Claire.
Yeah, so it's like, why did you even want the rose if you don't even like her?
Yeah, he's spiraling.
He said that she's not living up to what he thought she was.
Oh, yeah,
and
the expectations.
You only knew her for 48 hours.
You know what? You brought moon pies night one. You're not living up to my expectations.
I thought you were a vampire, and you're not. Listen to our last episode for reference.
Yes. But we'll continue to see this spiral out of control. But let's move on to Jason's one-on-one. Before the date, we've never seen this before, at least to my knowledge. Before the date, Jason gets a letter from Claire at his room saying that he needs to write a letter to his younger self that they're going to share at the date. So there's prep involved with this date.
Yeah.
Some homework.
What would you do if this was you in this scenario?
Honestly, she did write in the letter that it was going to be a vulnerable date. If it were without that piece of information, I probably would have kept it pretty light, talked about how weird I was when I was a kid or whatever. But she did give him a heads up that it was going to be a vulnerable date.
And if you found that out, how would you feel?
Definitely scared, but you know me, I am like overshare central. So
you would be like, okay, I'm down for it.
Yeah, it being on TV adds a little bit more pressure, and we'll get into that in a moment because like you don't want to share about like personal family stuff too much. But I'm all good about sharing about my problems.
I just think if it had been some of these other guys, this wouldn't be.
Yosef would have hated this date.
Yosef would have been like, this is not what I expected.
Yeah. This is not meeting my expectations. So this was the date that reminded me of camp. This gives me night 3 Christian camp vibes.
This gives me the show that was like Survivor for kids vibes.
Really?
I think it was called Endurance.
Yes.
That's what it reminds me
Well, no,
of.
I'm talking about like them being vulnerable. There's a campfire portion. There's a lot of reflection.
I'm just talking about like the scenery, the fact that they like break some tablets into the fire.
Oh, that gave me some biblical imagery.
Yeah.
I was thinking like Moses with the tablets.
Yes.
But I just thought, like, I just remember at camp, you know, they always tell you to like reflect and like write something. You know, you always get your camp journal.
Yes.
I just got major camp like vibes.
She's inspired by those evangelical youth ministries.
Yeah, maybe she went to one and this was the inspo.
Did she create this date?
Yes, absolutely.
Do you think the producers were just like, yes, as much or more than you can imagine? Like, not only are you going to write down stuff that hurts you, but then you're going to write it on a stone tablet and
smash
throw
it. What I'll say is that seemed... I mean, I would have been down for that. Sorry, go ahead.
I thought all of this was very weird.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the fact that it was their first date, that's weird. But I still liked the idea.
Okay, the idea is fine, but not in this scenario.
I thought he clearly looked uncomfortable.
But the other thing was, I just don't even know what to say because this all felt very strange. I felt like Claire was... It felt kind of wrong to me because I feel like Claire was trying to be like, tell me all your deep, dark secrets.
Like she was dragging him through the process.
And if you do, then like, if you're at the level of emotionality that I am, then I'll reciprocate. It's almost like how in Peter's season when girls would cry, and then as soon as they cried, he'd be like, oh, she must really care about me. But then if they didn't show their emotion that way, he'd be like, oh, they don't care at all.
Yeah, it makes me wonder, what does Claire feel like in a relationship when things aren't intense?
Yes.
Like when it gets comfortable and you're on your day-to-day, you know, is she content with that? Is she content with that, or is that like a red flag because it's not intense?
Right. That was just and I actually feel like it seems like Jason has gone through some very serious things.
Yeah, and you could tell he was trying to respect the parties involved.
Right, and I just felt bad for him because I thought, like, I hope that you're talking to someone who's a professional that can help you. Because he was saying he was keeping all the stuff bottled up inside, and I don't know. It was just, I just got a weird vibe from all of it.
Yeah, one thing I will commend Claire on is that it became clear that he didn't want to share too many details because it was about his parents and their marriage, and they're still married.
Yeah, and they're watching the show.
And she eventually was like, I can see the pain. I can hear the pain in your voice. So I'm glad she like stopped him from sharing maybe potentially more details. But she clearly likes when things get really intense. And
I'm just not.
I didn't see it being reciprocated, like enjoyment.
But then Jason is over the moon for her.
I don't know. I
didn't believe it.
I didn't believe it. I think I know that they probably connected in some way, but I just felt like I think he just felt really uncomfortable, and I think she maybe took him to a place that he didn't want to go to.
I got the feeling that he wanted to go there, but never had.
Or maybe he wanted to go there, but maybe not so soon.
Right. It almost felt manipulative. I
don't know. I think she I genuinely think she wanted to go there, like get there with each other.
And she wanted to connect.
The intention was pure. But and I'm glad she definitely was a warm space. Like she's definitely someone who's a soft pillow for someone to land on because she's very warm.
Yeah, and very nurturing.
But I just thought it was a lot for a first date. Although I love sharing. I love a share time.
Right, but that's not. I would say most people aren't that way. So that was a very extreme. choice.
Yeah. I did like, though, the burning of the dress from her final meeting with Juan Pablo.
Oh, that was classic.
That was a good note to end on, at least, because it was an uplift.
It was kind of funny how they were just staring at the fire,
watching it burn.
Yeah, it felt like, you know, when you were in high school or something and you had all this stuff from your boyfriend and then you broke up and then you got together with your friends at a sleepover.
I totally did that. Multiple times.
I did that too.
It's very cathartic.
But I like still had a box of other stuff that I wasn't gonna burn.
No, I burned everything.
No, I'm pretty sure to this day I still have a box of like a couple things.
No, I'm a bridge burner with that stuff. I was cursed. Sorry.
Don't make us go explicit, Kara.
I get rid of everything. I'm sure, like, in my yearbooks, there's things my ex-boyfriends have written that I'm not gonna like get rid of.
Yeah.
Although they could have made some more effort there.
I just had some stuff that I liked. Like, oh, I'm not gonna get rid of that.
I guess.
Or like my corsage from prom.
I did get rid of a pair of Doc Martens one time. I didn't burn them. I sold them.
Okay, at least you made a profit.
Yeah. Yeah, I got rid of a pair of Doc Martens. I just wasn't feeling punky anymore.
Okay, well, I mean, that's an entrepreneurial pursuit.
So whoever on Poshmark bought those for me, thank you.
How much did you sell them for?
Like $90.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyways, I don't keep that stuff.
So you're burning everything.
I gotta move on.
I definitely move on very quickly because I'm not super sentimental. That's why I can.
I'm too sentimental.
That's why I can keep stuff.
I can't.
Good to know.
Yeah. Sorry, I gotta get rid of it. That's only with romantic stuff, though. Like, platonic stuff I keep forever.
Yeah.
Even if those friendships, like, fade.
Oh, I hate keeping stuff. I just want it gone.
Oh, I have a box.
I had a box of cards and then it got full, so now I throw cards away.
Oh. I'm a big card and picture keeper. Anyways, wow. Rabbit trail. That was a good rabbit trail. We learned a little bit about each other, about what we keep and what we don't keep, and how we move on from romantic relationships.
That's all very important information relevant to this discussion.
So we have our, they burn the dress. One thing I want to say, the last thing about the dress, is she was like, "Are you ready?" And then there was like, they ran and was like, this panting to the fire.
That was so weird.
Yeah, that was lots of breathing in this episode.
So much breathing.
But anyways, second group date. I don't think I caught everyone on this date because it looked like there's 10 people. And the last 2 people, I kept trying to figure out who they were, but I'm going to put out a list anyways. We have Easy, Brandon, Garen, Chasen, Blake Moynes, Jay, Kenny, Joe, and I think Brendan and Amar. Brendan's the only one that I'm like, I can't remember for sure if he was on this date.
Yeah,
because we didn't see a whole lot. We only really saw half of them for the majority, because half of them got sent
and they
home.
were all like running around.
Lots of dodgeballs were flying.
Yeah,
lots of black boxes.
Maybe,
not to say we're gonna recognize anyone by what's under the black box, but they were distracting.
They were.
But they do a special form of dodgeball called Claire's Extreme Dodgeball Strip Dodgeball Bash.
I'm telling you,
mouthful.
This is summer camp.
Yes, and the producers are the camp counselors.
Yes.
And Claire's that one pretty girl that all the other girls are jealous of because she's clearly the prettiest.
And all the boys like her.
And
that was never me at summer camp.
It was never me. But this was just a wash. I mean, the red team dominated. They won 3 games in a row.
The actual group part of the date was a snooze fest, in my opinion.
I know. I was
just like, this is boring.
There was no competition.
No.
There was no they won one, then they won one. It was like the blue team just kept stripping.
No, nowhere near as good as the flag football event of Peter's season.
Oh my gosh. And the rugby date from Hannah B's season.
Oh, that was drama.
That was dramatic.
This
was boring.
This is so boring.
And I know they try to make it more exciting with the stripping, but
even that, who cares? Whatever.
I mean, we didn't have anything. Not to say I wanted to see what was under the black box, but that kind of took away the excitement.
Sure. It's not as high stakes. Although thinking about Claire sitting there watching it is like, I'd be like,
I mean, I feel like if they had given them Speedos so they didn't have to have the black box, like they still had coverage.
Well, some of them were wearing that, weren't they?
They were like a thong.
That's so weird.
And I think that's why they couldn't show it. But if they had done Speedos, I feel like they could have shown it.
I can't believe they purchased those and then set those aside and then gave them to them for that specific moment.
Yeah.
Yikes.
I don't know.
Did Claire know that was going to happen?
Of course.
I just don't understand.
I'm telling you, she's a very sexy person. She likes this kind of stuff. Plus, like, the contracts they sign when they go into the show, especially with the men more than the women, and I know it's a double standard, but men contestants on the show, they usually have some sort of revealing date.
That's true.
And in the past, before, 2020, they've had some women revealing dates too. For example, Jason Mesnick's season, I believe it was, they did a date where they took the women to this art studio and they did paper mache busts of their breasts.
Oh my gosh.
For like breast cancer support. Like supporting funding for a breast cancer cure. And Jason Mesnick got to touch like a couple of the women. They consented, obviously.
But that is very strange.
So I think that was the last time they did something truly revealing with the women.
Well, that makes sense about the clause. That's a good point.
Yeah, there was a cause. Anyways. But this was just kind of boring to me.
Yeah, it was boring. And then Blake's team loses, Blake Boynes, and he's pouting.
Yeah, honestly, it was more entertaining watching the men walk back from that date.
The silence,
the ball puns, the kick in the nuts puns.
Classic.
Them having to they had to explain. They had to show up naked and then explain what happened while they're still trying to cover their business with their hand.
Guys don't care about that. They're just like all those guys. Well, except for Yosef. He's not into it.
Yosef was so mad. And we'll talk about more about that. But we get to the night portion, and I do want to talk about this briefly. They cut to Easy. Something that came up in the news this past week is that Easy he has some possible sexual assault allegations that are surfacing. I don't have a whole lot to say about it because I honestly just think it's ridiculous how production had so much time to weed through all that messes like that, and make sure they didn't make it on the show. So
I don't know how that would have gone under the radar.
Boo
production.
Yeah. So, and this happened with Becca Kufrin's season. Lincoln, one of the contestants on there, he actually had like a case in the works with sexual assault.
It's crazy.
And they ended up like just making sure he was edited out as much as possible. So I just hope that happens here, because we didn't see a lot of him this episode.
That's true. After the first episode, I feel like we saw some in the first episode, and then
So I'm hoping that the editing is considered with that.
Me too.
We see a lot of Chasen.
Yes, and guess what? I'm into it.
I'm into it too. We thought he was like 24, but he's 31.
He's looking good.
He looks great. Too perfect.
And their conversation, he was kind of describing himself as if he was like some nerd in school or something.
I always wonder how true that is.
Chasen,
is that really true?
There's no way that you were not the most popular boy in your graduating class.
Yeah. I mean...
And Claire was like, I was a nerd. No one noticed me. I'm like, how can that be true of these two beautiful people sitting
I need
here?
evidence.
Yeah. Chasen, give me your yearbook pictures from kindergarten to 12th grade, and then I'll tell you if you were popular.
If you got some sort of superlative, even if it's like brainiest,
you're still popular.
You're still popular.
And they kissed. I thought they had actually really good chemistry.
Good chemistry
in their kiss.
They have good chemistry.
Like, I didn't feel awkward watching them kiss.
No, I felt like there was some movie magic there.
a true Hollywood moment.
Two nerds connecting, if they really are. Did you go to school dances when you were in school?
Yes, I did. I went to my middle school dances, and that was, as to be expected, very uncomfortable. I did not dance with anyone, except in my 7th grade dance. Oh my gosh, this is a really traumatic story that I just remembered. In 7th grade, I asked this boy to dance, and I thought he said yes. So I started putting my arms around his neck, and then he was like, no, I didn't. And I was like, and then I just ran away.
Oh no, I would have run away too.
I just didn't know what to do.
I would have run with you and comforted you.
It was like he said, yeah, sure. And then he just took it back.
Well,
I'm too flustered to even truly know what
karma
happened.
really got him in the end with that one.
I hope so too.
No one rejects Beth Short.
Yeah.
Or whatever your maiden name was.
Sagabell. So I did go to dances. I went to prom junior and senior year too. Wow. What about you? Oh my gosh.
I never went to a school dance.
I just remembered that I went to senior prom with the person that happened in 7th grade with.
So you rewarded them.
How dare I?
I never went to a single school dance ever.
Really?
I mean, I guess if you count the one that I had to volunteer at because we were raising money for the robotics club.
Oh my gosh. Aww.
I was manning.
You could have a Disney movie made about you based on that sentence alone.
I literally thought I was going to be like the living proof of. Have you ever seen Never Been Kissed with Drew Barrymore?
Yes.
I thought I was going to be her.
Well, were you?
No, because I definitely got some kisses in high school, but like,
but not at the dance.
No, I never went to a dance, and I dated in high school, but it never lined up for when I could actually go to dances. Like,
wait, Never Been Kissed is the one where she's pretends to be
a high school student,
okay, and falls in love.
But she's like 26 and legitimately has never been kissed.
And she has a hot teacher.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's
scandalous, but good movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just never went to a school dance, never got asked, and
do you regret it?
Well, the thing is, when I was old enough to go to like prom, my best friends were sophomores. Mm. So like I had older friends when I was a sophomore, and I was single, I think, around the time prom happened, even though the guy I was dating was old enough to go to prom.
Yeah.
So I never got to go with my older friends, and then they graduated, and then I got younger friends, and then
they couldn't go.
Yeah, well, I was just like, I'm not going to just ask one of my best friends to go.
Right.
I want both of my best friends to go.
Okay, that makes sense.
So I never went to a dance. But yeah, in 8th grade, I manned the Dance Revolution station at the robotics sponsored dance where we were trying to raise funds to go to state.
Did you have a crush that was there? Like,
I always had crushes that I wanted to go to dances, always, but never.
Was a crush at the dance and you're just like staring at them the whole time and you're like,
I don't remember about that one.
Well, I'm going to say that that's what happened.
I definitely had crushes always. I was never like, I don't care about boys. I always cared.
Do you remember when you would like just go to the store and at the store you would have a crush? Like anywhere you went in public.
Oh yeah, you were just picked someone out. I never had a lot of luck with dating, but I always liked someone. Always.
I just remember being like, oh, I'm at the beach. Who am I gonna have a crush on at the beach right now?
Always.
And then you like never see them again.
Maybe I'll see them tomorrow. Yeah, and it's so dramatic in your head.
Yeah.
Anyways, didn't have a lot of luck with dances, but you know what? I cut a rug at my wedding. And well, that's what mattered.
That's the big dance, as they call it.
Yes, the big dance.
That's also what they call March Madness, the basketball tournament.
Really?
Yeah.
The big dance?
I'm pretty sure.
I know nothing about sports.
Maybe I made that up. I don't know.
I don't think
that's the demographic that we're going for here anyway.
Anyways, wow, I liked that we went down that road, though. But we need to talk about Blake getting in on this date.
Freaking Blake, man.
I mean,
I don't like him. Do you like him? You said you liked him. I said from last week that I didn't like him.
I am not attracted to him, but I see where his emotions are, and I can respect that. Like, he clearly wants to spend time with Claire.
He gives me minor Luke P vibes.
Oh, really? Is it just the beefiness, though?
No, because he was like,
he's a similar build.
I'm coming back because I have gotta, like, I'm here for Claire. I gotta spend time with her. I gotta take a risk. Also, it's like, it's not that big of a risk. You just walked over here from your hotel room.
Also, how many times can you play that card before it, like,
yeah, and what I don't like
bad.
is that, this is kind of jumping ahead, but, like, he obviously ends up getting a rose at the cocktail party before the rose ceremony, and I just don't like that Claire is basically rewarding him for not playing by the rules, but not in a romantic way. I didn't think it was romantic. It was just like, you're a sore loser, and then I don't like him.
I think she's someone who likes someone who breaks the rules, but only if she thinks it's okay.
Right. It's so arbitrary.
Because she doesn't like it other times.
Yeah, I'm annoyed by it.
Well, what I'll say here is the beauty of La Quinta Resort and Spa is that anyone can crash on any date.
Everyone they could just
which equals drama.
They should hang out with binoculars and spy.
We need this.
We need walkie-talkies. We need string and tin cans.
Yes.
Why? They're not realizing the full potential.
Yeah. I do like that aspect that they can just walk across the way and go on the date.
That's the opportunity for way more drama.
So I'm not saying that, stop it, guys. Stop dropping in on dates, because I like the drama aspect, because you know what was funny was that all of the guys on the date literally went over there and started staring at them.
And I'm pretty sure Chasen has his drink in his hand and he's sipping it the whole time, which is just the energy that we're all trying to capture.
What an ambush.
It was funny that they all went and stood there and stared at them and didn't say anything. And then they all stared at each other some more, and then Claire was like, okay, I'm going to keep talking to him.
It was very weird because she like clearly loved it, but then she wanted to respect the guys. So she was like, I love that you did this, but I have to go respect the guys.
And then she refuses his attempt to kiss her.
That hurt.
And
that's all he thought about for the next day.
It was my 7th grade dance all over again.
You can relate to that.
Okay, so Blake and I have one thing in common, and it's that we've been rejected.
I can relate, not to this directly, but I was definitely that person who like didn't care sorry, mom and dad, didn't care where I was. I was a big PDA gal.
Oh man, I was
not at school, but like,
that was the worst. And someone would make out in front of your locker.
But like, if I was, with my person of interest, and I didn't care if we kissed in public, and I definitely got like a not now from some of my significant others, and they were right. I was wrong.
And Claire was right in this scenario.
And I know that hurts though. That hurts, even though you feel like they're into you.
Well, what do you think her reasoning was for that? Because she does address it later and says like, "Oh, sorry, I didn't kiss you. I wasn't the right time," or something like that.
Yeah, I think that's what she said. It just wasn't the right time.
But that doesn't make sense.
I don't know. I felt like that was definitely her thing that she thrives on, was like stealing kisses.
I was also surprised that she even gave him a rose for that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Okay.
So next we have, I put down for that Blake moment, I put he gets the "you tried" star.
Yeah.
The star button that says you tried.
He gets the participation trophy that everyone gets.
Let's talk about Brandon.
Yeah.
If the Blake moment, that was beautiful. If the Blake moment didn't hurt enough, the Brandon moment
was the dagger in the heart that killed us all.
Oh my god.
But guess what? Guess whose fault it was? Brandon's.
I put Brandon as like a robot with bad AI.
he like can't adjust. Like he doesn't have the conditional logic to formulate a proper response.
Yeah, and he set himself up for failure.
I mean, we're all thinking it, and it's obvious, but I have to say it. Why are you going to say that you came on the show for Claire?
Once I saw it was you, I had to come on.
And then not know anything to say about why you wanted to come on.
Especially when he had so much time to study up on her.
And if he was trying to do a move by saying that, like play the game, I get it, buddy, but at least have a follow-up if that's what you're...
Well, if he had studied Claire, he would have known that she was going to ask him.
Yeah, because she wants... I mean, her...
She wants answers.
Her more than anyone, but I mean, all of us. If someone says that, you're going to want to know why.
Yeah. That's just typical, like, adult conversation.
That was...
so bad.
That was really, really cringy. I have to say.
Not a good look.
And...
he'll be lucky if he gets on Paradise. It's good that he's that pretty. That's how he'll probably end up on Paradise.
Do you think that he will get on Paradise?
If he does, we're definitely talking about this moment again because that's how this is literally how we're going to remember Brandon is that he's the guy that has bad AI and is definitely a robot.
I feel like there's more to say about it because it made such an impact on me, but
it was just bad.
It was terrible.
There's no good explanation. It was just bad and short-sighted.
And stupid.
But I was waiting for the moment where Claire sent a guy home apart from a rose ceremony. I love when a lead gives a rose outside of a rose ceremony that's not a date rose, like just a surprise rose.
Yes.
I love those. The person who did that a lot was Chris Lowe. He was the born-again virgin.
Wait, Sean.
Oh, yeah, Sean Lowe. What am I saying?
Like, who's Chris Lowe?
Sean Lowe did a lot of surprise roses, and I loved it.
When he's feeling it, he's got to give one out.
He loved it. Yeah, when you're feeling it. I love when people do that, and I love when they send them home out of the blue. I love a sneak attack.
He deserves to be sent home because...
that was just foolish.
Well, so I was on Twitter while we were watching, and I saw some people tweeting, being like, he said he wanted to come here, and he was excited. Or, no, okay, the tweets were like, you want people to be real, but you also want them to already have a reason of why they like you. He was just trying to be organic. But I don't think that's true because he literally said, oh, once I found out it was you, I just had to come on. It's like, okay, if you're going to say that,
you got to have an answer.
There has to be a reason for it.
Anyways, bye, Brandon. See you never.
I can't believe she even offered to walk him out.
I know. Well, he didn't do anything necessarily bad.
No, but I feel like
insulted her.
I feel like a lot of times, do they always walk them out though? Because
the phrase "Can I walk you out" is definitely a Bachelor phrase.
I know it is, but I just I associate that with the serious people.
I think generally they do walk them out unless they're just straight up angry.
Oh, okay.
Or the other person's angry and they don't want them to walk them out. Like Chris Randone with Becca Kufrin's season, he was like, "No, I don't want you to walk me out."
Okay, bye, Chris.
Bye.
That must have been a long walk for Brandon. Once he got into
Claire was there to walk him out.
He got into the car and he was like, "Thank God, I did not know how I was going to get out."
Silence, because there's no connection there. There was no like, "I'll miss you" or anything.
And if I messed up that bad, I'd be like, "Yes, please send me home because I can't look at you." I would have
sent myself home. Like, okay, I'm going to go now.
Moonwalk out.
But yeah, bye, Brandon. See you never. Chasen gets the rose. My question.
I'm so happy he got the rose.
I am really happy he got the rose. But you know what I'm not happy about? No Joe content.
Oh,
no origami Joe.
I wonder what they talked about.
I want more Joe.
Maybe that was when Blake came and he didn't get any time.
I think he definitely got time
because he didn't.
It wasn't everyone's.
If he hadn't gotten time, he would have been like, "Oh, I didn't get any time," and then they would have played it as drama.
I want more Joe content.
I think Joe's going home.
I know, but I need
He's
him.
He's a sweetie. Maybe he'll be on Paradise.
We need him Paradise. I want him to make cute origami notes for girls.
I'm glad that Chasen... I definitely still think that Chasen is a very...
A smoke show? Yes.
Well, okay, a smoke show. But, his name, I can't. I mean, it's not his fault. But
it's like Chase and Jason.
Yeah.
Jason.
So, anyway...
we cut to Joseph. Not Joseph. Yosef.
Even his name is just
Yosef is continuing. It's like Yosef needs a hobby. He continues to trash talk Claire. When people trash talk people like that to me is like you're bored.
Yeah, it's like
you have too much time on your hands.
Why are you causing this drama? that no one needs or is asking for, and why are you making it about you when it's not?
And he keeps saying he's gonna talk to Claire about it, but I feel like he's had opportunity to talk to Claire about it, and he just hasn't. And he says he was talking about the stripping with the dodgeball.
Yeah, it's so immature.
And he was just being really aggressive with it. And I said, you can have a strong stance without communicating so aggressively. Like, he could be calm and classy, being like, yeah, I just wouldn't do that because I have a daughter. I would have just been like, yeah, I can't do this.
Yeah, I think.
But he had to be like mad about it.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I understand maybe not wanting to do that because I don't think I would be comfortable doing that. But it's the way that
the method.
Yeah, it's not. It's almost like I don't really believe that he doesn't want to do that because he has a daughter. It's just because he doesn't want to do that and he thinks it's dumb.
Wasn't his call.
And also, he was saying that as they were showing a clip of him staring out the window, putting his shirt on. Like, he's shirtless.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're saying you don't want to strip and you're literally standing there without a shirt right now.
Yeah, I just think he seems like a person who gets angry really easily. And I'm that's just my speculation at this point. But
yeah, and that's a red flag.
But that's obviously going to unfold even more. We get to the cocktail party. Claire looks great in periwinkle.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like this color was.
Is that what that color is?
I originally put down rose pink, but I think it's more of a periwinkle.
Really? I was thinking it was like a rose, not champagne, like a rosé.
I'm holding on to periwinkle.
Okay. I mean, I'm not gonna fight it.
She looks fab. You. Another va-va-voom moment.
Very va-va-voom.
Love
it. It's either one shoulder or a plunging V
with a thin strap.
With a very thin strap.
We had the opposite problem here from the group date where everyone was awkward and no one was volunteering. She turns down Zach J, fart box guy, Zach J.
Well,
he was the guy who grabbed her first on night one. And he pulled that card again, tried to do it again. And she rejects him.
And this is what rubs me the wrong way about Claire sometimes. It's like, you want people to just do what you want. You don't have, like, the right scenario in one situation is not the right scenario for you in another situation. Yeah. So it's like they can't win.
It's very much a catch-22 in a way. Because I understand she wanted to talk to Blake, but she could have definitely made it a priority without rejecting Zach J in front of everyone.
You could just say, okay, great. And then after you're done talking with him, you say, okay, I need to talk to Blake.
Yeah. But it is kind of that thing like earlier where she said she can't move on until she vocalizes something. So maybe it was that I have to talk to him in order to be present with other people right now.
Which I guess I respect her self-awareness. It's just...
I feel bad for Zach J.
Yeah, and it's just honestly kind of hard to swallow.
Yeah, I would have been a little hurt if I were in Zach J's position. Because that was embarrassing.
Yeah, that's super embarrassing. It happens once in front of all the guys and then again on national television.
Yeah. Well, anyway, she pulls Blake aside. And we get another moment where he's so nervous, just like on night one. Like, she kind of builds it up like that it was bad.
Totally.
And then she pulls out the rose and says she loved what he did.
And
surprise rose. I do like surprise roses, though.
Okay, I just can't with this, though. I'm not it's like she's feeding into overly emotional and non-rational acts by people and encouraging it. Do you agree? Like,
I don't know. I don't think it goes that far. I think it's just that she likes a drama moment.
I guess.
I think she definitely just likes intense moments. I don't think she's trying to manipulate.
She's consciously trying to do that, but that's what it comes off as.
I think she's just intense. We asked for an intense season, and we got one.
Yeah.
It is action-packed. I called this a Rogue Rose moment.
Nice. Hashtag
Rogue Rose. I do like them, though.
I like it when they choose to do that because it makes it feel like it's more of their decision than something orchestrated.
I wish they had more Rogue Rose moments.
They probably could. The lead,
if they wanted to, like Sean Lowe.
Yeah.
But obviously the boys are mad about it.
And Blake's eyes they've got some intensity
Yeah.
behind them.
Yeah.
Did you notice that when he was staring into the camera?
Yes.
Like hee.
I feel like there's parts of Blake we haven't seen yet. Maybe there's something we shouldn't like about him.
I mean, I already don't.
I want to see more of Zach C. and Joe. Blake's had his time to shine. Well, let's move on to another Clayle moment.
Clayle.
I learned a new term from Dale tonight. He says he's not afraid to talk in depth, which to me I guess is just extra deep.
It's the deep end of the pool.
In depth. It's like saying I like you, but with
in depth.
And then we get a shot of Claire's legs in his lap.
Oh, I missed that.
A new level of intimacy. That's very much a I can chill on the couch with you once you get the legs in the lap thing.
Sure.
It was very sweet. He says, "You're not meant to go through life alone."
Yeah, I was not feeling this. Maybe I'm just...
I mean, we got so much of Dale this episode.
Maybe
we got overloaded
I got overloaded on the roller coaster of Claire's emotions, which that's fine. Like, she can have all the emotions she wants. It's her journey. But just by the end, I just felt like I just don't feel invested in what's happening between her and Dale.
I mean,
right now.
Maybe I'm not invested as much as I wish I was, but I'm gonna be honest. I got a little bothered. I got a little hot and bothered by the
oh my gosh.
resurfacing of the blindfold and being like, we didn't finish. No. I thought that was hot.
I was dying.
I mean, they're very much into each other, and there's chemistry.
They just want to jump each other's bones, and I think I'm the kind of person where if someone is, this is gonna sound bad, but if someone is too excited to hang out with me, I'm just get away.
I'm the person who's too excited.
But I like hanging out with you.
But I have to be calm down, Kara. I do self-talk and be chill.
So with Claire, I feel like she's like, ooh, Dale, I want to talk to him all the time and I want to try this. And she's like, I stole this blindfold for us to use later. And I would just to me, that's so overwhelming. So I think when I watch it unfold on television, I'm like, oh man, I feel exhausted.
What I will say, I am exhausted by, I want to see more combo. I want to see more, there's a lot of, cliches being thrown around, and I know that's very Bachelor-esque, is cliches being thrown around a lot, but I want to hear some real combos between them two, because there's obviously a lot of chemistry.
Yeah, but you're right, they're not really
like this whole you're not meant to live life alone. True, let's talk more about that.
Right.
Or I'm here all for you, I don't care who's watching. I want more deets. I want details.
Yeah, if he's in depth, then I think he can go farther.
I want Dale, hear me. I want in-depth details.
That's part of what's bothering me about this is she's wanting certain emotional reactions and he's saying all the right stuff. And it feels, to me, that feels, I guess not fake, but not.
It's not fake. I think it's just that we can only see so much in a show episode.
Yeah.
But he obviously knows the right things to say. I don't think it's the intent. I don't think the intention is bad. But I think if we're going to see that much physical chemistry, I want there to be more details as to how in-depth the relation is.
What makes you tick, Dale? Where do you come from? Who are you?
How did you get here? From Zach C.
Exactly.
Who we need to see more of.
Yeah, and I'm wondering, if Claire is asking any of these questions or if she's just so.
Okay, that's a good point. I want to support Claire so much because I adore her and we're so different, but I respect her so much. I do want her to ask some more questions.
Well, and okay, so I know a lot of people are very turned off by Claire because
she's intense and she knows who she is.
And so I do respect that about her. I'm not completely turned off by her, but sometimes I'm just like, girl, please, like, slow down and just actually it doesn't all have to be these high highs and low lows and these sweeping gestures and a bunch of like sensual moments. Like, just like have a real conversation with someone, and I don't know.
Maybe figure out, like, I don't know, who they're voting for before you get too deep.
Yeah, she's like, I know he's my husband. It's like, but what do you even... Maybe she has asked him questions and they've had...
What are your values? Yeah.
But I feel like it is very swept away based on nothing.
Yeah. But maybe we're wrong, and maybe they're meant for each other, and maybe
maybe
all of this ends out really great.
I want to be wrong because I love to see people fall in love and be happy.
I want a love story. That's why I watch this every season.
Yeah, some people watch it to make fun of it. We watch it because we believe in love.
I believe in love, and I believe love can happen quickly. I just want
and love can happen.
I want TV. More combos. Well, let's talk about what's coming up because we got a promo for next week. It looks like we have a roast coming. It looks like the group date next week is going to be a roast because it looks like they're roasting Dale.
I hope Bennett's on that date.
I want more Bennett content.
Bennett
I was wrong about Bennett, y'all.
Bennett has to be in paradise. I'm saying it right now.
He's going to be.
There's no way he won't be on it.
He's like this season's version of John Paul Jones, in my opinion.
He's so good.
So good.
So good. And
is he better? I might be better than John Paul Jones,
I'm obsessed with him. And I liked John Paul Jones, but I'm obsessed with Bennett.
We're going to talk about him in a second. Before we get to that scene.
Also, Kenny.
Okay, I'm still on the fence about him.
# where's Kenny?
I want more Bennett than Kenny. But you've got me more on the fence about Kenny than I was before.
Okay.
But
I hope he's on the date.
You mentioned this while we were watching. We got confirmation that Dale is indeed the guy that's in that bedroom making out with Claire on the bed. Because we saw the footage.
Right.
And then he says, I'm going to catch so much riff for this. Is that a real word? I mean, riff is a word, but like that's not how it's used.
It just like reminded me of some like 50s gangster. He's like, I'm gonna catch so much riff for this.
Yeah, like the zoot suit.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't think that's how that word is used, Dale.
No, a riff is like...
I'm glad... Yeah.
A riff is like you're improvising.
Like a guitar riff.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Unless he knows something about the dictionary that we don't know.
I can admit that I'm wrong next week. I mean, I'm going to look this up, but I'm pretty sure we're right.
Pretty sure it's fake.
And you're very smart, Beth.
Well, thank you. You're smart. You're a librarian.
I just feel like you're smarter than me. But okay.
Well, anyway, Claire didn't care because...
He's hot.
Yeah.
Okay, we need to talk about the Bennett robe scene.
Okay, yeah, I know I already talked about it a little bit, but
yeah, Bennett in his robe. I loved this energy. It was refreshing after this episode.
It was the palate cleanser that we
all
water
we needed.
We did not know what happened to us, and then Bennett just...
Here's a green juice shot. Here's a sheet mask.
He has them all fanned out on his counter.
I put down that Bennett has packed more shoes for the show than I own.
Yeah, that's actually true for me.
I own less than 10 pairs of shoes.
I would say the same. Or at least pairs that I actually legitimately wear. Or like, you know how there's pairs of shoes in your closet that you actually wear, and then there's pairs that you just need to get rid of but haven't yet?
Yes, but I even have gotten rid of those.
Okay, well...
Because I have 2 pairs of like clunky heels that I only wear when I want to feel fancy. One's for winter, one's for all the other seasons. And I'm telling you, I have less than 10 pairs of shoes. My husband Cam has way more shoes than I do.
Boys have a lot of shoes,
but
has
Bennett has 6 pairs of boots.
Bennett has an inordinate
lots of
amount
loafers.
Of shoes. I want to see him model every pair of shoes.
I would love that.
Bennett, can you please start a YouTube channel and first video? Can you give us a closet tour?
He's going to have a male clothing line. I told you the male scarves.
I need to follow him on Instagram immediately.
Like you said, I want a closet tour. And I want him in the robe with a mask on, drinking spa water while he's doing the tour.
I thought he was drinking a martini.
He said it was his spa water.
Is that vodka?
Maybe
and
it's just
olive?
spa water with an olive. Or maybe spa water is just a slang term for martini.
Oh my gosh, he's so funny.
But yeah, that was a needed end to this episode. Refreshing.
Wait, what's his last name? I'm trying to find him on Insta.
I don't have a last name.
Oh, I found him.
Bennett Andrew Jordan on
Wait,
Instagram.
why does he only have 6,000 followers?
Guys, go follow
should
Bennett.
I slide into his DMs just for the purposes of saying that he's hilarious?
Just say I need a closet tour.
Okay. I'm going to.
Love your vibe. Need a closet tour.
Love your vibe. Can you give us a closet tour?
Okay, so on that note, go follow Bennett on Instagram. Oh, this is a good wrap up. With all the excitement of last week, I forgot to mention that we are on Instagram. Go follow us at Cabbage Batch Pod. You'll see some memes there. We're putting up memes on the reg.
Yeah, there's some fun stuff happening. And then when episodes come out,
we'll release it there. And the link will be in bio for our podcast as well. And also, if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, please take a moment to give us a review, ideally a 5-star review.
Exactly.
Give us some feedback. We love to hear from you.
Unless it's bad, and then just, keep it to yourself and never mention it to anyone.
But with that, maybe you'll go grab a glass of spa water, a green juice shot.
Get into a comfy robe and some slippers, and
let's reset in preparation for next week, because I'm going to be watching it, and I hope you do too.
Yeah, and I hope that you tune in next week.
Oh, before we go, we have to do our recommendations.
Oh, yeah.
Will you accept this recommendation?
This is a segment that we like to call What Kara Just Said. Will
you accept this recommendation? Beth, do you have a recommendation, or should I go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
I'm more prepared than I was last week. I recently ordered some rubber bendy straw, not bendy straws, like reusable straws on
like the silicone ones.
Yeah, the silicone ones, and I'm using one right now, and it has a bend in it, so it's not sticking straight up, but it's like angled towards
I have
you.
those. They're very nice.
Yeah, and I had some metal reusable straws before, but
no.
Yeah, I just got these, and
I like to bite on the silicone ones.
Yeah, it's actually really nice. So I would recommend those, and then I've also been drinking a lot of watermelon flavored LaCroix recently. I'm drinking one right now.
Some summer vibes.
I know, it is a summer vibe, but it's a newer flavor, and I just discovered it, and it's really good. So I recommend it. And it's not like what you would typically think of when you think of a watermelon flavor.
What do you typically think of?
Well, you just think of like a Jolly Rancher, basically.
I hate Jolly Ranchers.
I don't love them. Well, I like them.
I absolutely hate them.
I like them in the right context. Okay. Wow.
I do.
I feel like there's some underlying
one
stuff.
might have gotten stuck in my hair one time.
Okay, there it is.
Disgusting.
We all knew that there was something under the surface there. But that one or either the key lime.
Okay.
Those are my recommendations.
Specifically with a silicone bendy straw.
Yep, tastes better.
I can vouch the silicone bendy straw. When I say chew, I just mean like I like to be able to have a bend moment.
Yeah, and it hurts your teeth on the metal one.
I wouldn't even try on the metal ones. I'm like proceeding with caution with the metal straws.
Yeah, they're
like if it hits your tooth,
you could chip a tooth.
That's the other thing. Keep your teeth safe.
I know.
Dental hygiene. My recommendation this week is a combo. So kind of like yours. Yours is also a combo.
Yeah, it's a package deal.
Okay, first I would recommend making spinach puffs.
Yum.
Get some puff pastry, some spinach, some fresh garlic, some feta, some cream cheese, and some Parmesan, and make some spinach puffs.
That sounds so good. I'm actually kind of hungry right now.
And they're absolutely delicious. But make sure you let them cool.
Oh, no.
I made these spinach puffs. I made them yesterday, I think. My tongue is still burning.
Oh no. That is the worst. Have you ever burned your tongue so hard that it bubbles?
No, I didn't even know that was possible.
I've done it and it was terrible. But I'm glad that didn't happen to you.
I just was impatient. Guys, good things come to those who wait.
It's so hard though.
They look so delicious. I wanted the fruits of my labors.
When did you make these?
Last night.
Oh.
For dinner. We
You
did like a
didn't
little
bring any here?
They were gone.
Dang.
But spinach puffs, very good. Make you some this, with this fall weather. Make some nice and cozy. But make sure you let them cool. I mean, I literally didn't wait at all. I was that hungry.
I think you should have known, probably.
Yeah, I knew it was coming.
But I'm still sorry that happened to you.
So maybe y'all can put some recommendations into your upcoming week as you wait for our next episode.
Or give us recommendations.
Give us recommendations. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. Subscribe. Thank you.
Like and subscribe, people. Like and subscribe.
I hope we at least retain our 54 listeners.
We have 54 downloads, and that means we could have
55.
Oh, so that means we could have 55 reviews.
I was going to say, maybe we'll get 55 next week.
Oh.
That's my new goal. Is just one more each week.
Oh, okay. Oh.
But yeah, we could have 54 reviews.
So every single person who's listening, make sure you give us a review.
Recommend it to a friend.
Recommend this to all your friends. Recommend it to your family.
Thanks for listening, guys. Yeah. We'll see you soon, or we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, we'll talk to you guys soon. Enjoy your week, and that's it.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.